Okay, we're officially doing this A to Z mini rework, my thoughts and etc. Garen, the Might of Demacia, the dumbest, stupidest champion, one of them, that this game has. Damage physical, mostly ability. This is true, I'll give it. I was questioning it a little bit in my head, but I will accept it. Difficulty 1. Yeah, no flip. Wait, what? Toughness 3, damage 2. That's all you want to give him? That's it. He has 1 silence. I'll agree, that's not enough for crowd control. Has no utility. His Q increases his speed, but I guess, a Q that's up every 3 seconds that increases the speed only by probably only like 30-40% isn't reasonable. I'll sort of accept that. But, I'd also give him a damage 3 because he does insane amounts of damage. A proud and noble warrior, Garen fights as one of the dauntless vanguard. He is popular among his fellows and respected well enough by his enemies, not least as a scion of the prestigious crown guarded family, entrusted with defending Demacia and its ideals. Clad in magic-resisting armor and bearing a mighty broadsword, Garen stands ready to confront mages and sorcerers on the field of battle in a veritable whirlwind of righteous steel. Okay, you see, another flippin' problem with this, though, is that yet his magic-resisting armor also somehow resists his attack damage, too. Doesn't make a ton of sense, but, just happened to be the way that I guess it is. So, next, we will go to his abilities. His passive. Dumbest flippin' passive ever. I don't care who thought this was a good idea, who has been preventing it from being changed, but this is ridiculous. Perseverance. If Garen has not recently been struck by damage or enemy abilities, he regenerates a percentage of his total health each second. Minion damage does not stop perseverance. It's so dumb because there's a lot of times where I'm in the middle of farming and yet I still just somehow get it done. And it's, as I said, it's not based off of anything except for taking damage from enemies. It's so stupid, and the only way to stop it is a constant poke, and even then he can just run away and stand outside of your ranges. That way he can just heal. Now, yeah, this prevents whatever the heck it's called, him from getting minions, but he can still probably get a few here and there, and plus he can farm under tower when you won't be able to get close enough to auto him, and he'll still be regenning, because yet again, minion damage doesn't actually stop it. Yeah, why would we do that? It's such a stupid passive. How quickly it makes him regen in base, or not in base, in lane. Just overall, it's really dumb. Next up is his Q. The Decisive Strike. Garen gains a burst of movement speed, breaking free of all slows affecting him. His next attack strikes a vital area of his foe, dealing bonus damage and silencing them. Ha, ha, ha. Yeah, just becomes like 3 seconds later game. It really badly hurts, enough that you really don't expect it to hurt as bad as it does. Just overall a wonderful ability that has no problems whatsoever. Courage. Garen passively increases his armor match just by killing enemies. Why is it not just magic resist? He may also activate this ability to give him a huge, notice it, huge burst of tenacity and damage reduction for a brief moment, followed by a lesser amount of damage reduction for a longer duration. What? I thought, okay, sure. Let's just make a champion as overpowered as humanly possible. Okay. His E. Oh, yeah, those are lovely. Judgment. Garen performs a dance of death with his sword, dealing damage around him for a duration, shredding the armor of enemy champions. Armor shred? Demacia Justice. The enemy champion with the most recent kill is the villain. Garen's attack deal additional true damage to that champion. That doesn't call for stupidity or anything right there. Garen can call upon the might of Demacia to deal a finishing blow to an enemy champion that deals damage based on how much health his target has missing. This damage is true damage against the villain. So, it's an execution that does even more damage when it's, on the villain. So that villain part's passive, the other part's active. So I'm going to be quite clear. As I always say, any champion that is a level 1 in difficulty, I think needs reworked in some manner, shape, or form, because I think they have too much free things in their kit and not anything to justify. Like, Azir has a lot of things in his kit that are really, really something. He can disengage, re-engage, CC, attack from such an incredible distance. There are so many things he's capable of doing that, but he needs to know what he is doing to be a good Azir. You don't really need to know what you're doing to be a Garen. You can walk into this game and play him like the back of your hand, which, I guess that is kind of the purpose of Season 1 of Difficulty 1 Champions. But at the same time, I think that it's just a bit too much. When, he's capable of doing this very same thing at higher tiers, like gold. I understand, yeah, it's not stinking challenger and so on and so forth, but it's still a higher rank that I really just think that he should basically be useless in. If he's going to be so flippin' easy that, he's meant for beginner people to, play and understand. But at the same time, I don't think he should be completely useless, but it's just still. I find it really stupid of how strong he is, that I can pick him and do the most damage on my team and still be a relatively strong tank. Which, is another video, but still. So, I do think he needs a full-on rework. I'm not 100% sure of what that rework would entail, to be quite honest. How do I put this? I've thought of a few things. As I said earlier, I would definitely change a good amount of him, but still. Okay. So, passive, that's just no. I would kind of make it vitalize from what is it in? It's a rune. Here we go. It's in this. It should be right here. Second wind. After taking damage from an enemy champion, heal for 4% of your missing health, plus 6 over 10 seconds. That is something that I would give him, where after taking damage, after a brief delay of taking damage, he will then gain a small percent of health regen that will heal him for a percentage of the damage he just took. It'll kind of be like Tom Kench's and Pike's gray health, where you'll be able to see how much he's about to heal back, but it won't be anything. It won't be anything as excessive as either of them. Where it won't be as big as Pike's, and it will, it's going to happen. He's going to gain the health regen no matter what, meaning a Spirit Vestige will still be very good for this. But it's going to be a short delay, and it's going to be a percentage of what you took during that delay. Meaning, if you hit him once and it does only 100 damage, he's only going to gain back 10 HP. And if you just wait for that, you'll be able to see it'll be a visual effect that shows him healing up a little bit. There you go. That's all you need to do. Then his Q, I would honestly, I think you could potentially keep it the same, but I would like to see it turn into something more along the lines of kind of like a Gnar W skill shot, but faster, where he just kind of holds up his sword and then he slams it down in front of him, and it will silence and do damage, but obviously he won't gain the movement speed and everything. Then his W is what I would change majorly. I would make it so that, one, he does not gain both armor and magic resist upon, like, killing minions and just passively gaining it. I think, if anything, since it is magic resistant armor, he should get passively, he'll either get a magic shield like Galio's W, which will literally be the exact same thing Galio's W has, or he should just gain magic resist over a duration, over, like, just killing minions, but not both armor and magic resist. It's just too much resistances. Like, what the flip? Why would they do this? It makes no physical sense why they would keep this way after doing it, or even doing it in the first place. Why would you do that? But then I would give it an active. The active of it would kind of be what it currently is, but not. It would not give damage reduction. What it would do is it would give a large boost of movement speed, and it would give not tenacity, but it would instantly take away any CC that he has. So it would be something that you'd either use to charge in or to charge out. Basically, that'd be it, and then passively give him. His E is just something that is going to do like AoE damage. And to be completely honest, I can't fully think of a way that I would shorten it up over what it currently is. But that's just kind of the way the cookie crumbles is. I wouldn't even change it. Because of the changes that I've already made, I would even keep it the damage reduction. Okay, so if we're trying to make minimal changes, I would leave his passive basically the way it is. Just make any sort of damage, take it out. Maybe not any sort of damage, but even because minions, I agree that they really shouldn't stop it. But at the same time, I feel like in some degrees it kind of needs to happen. And I think you just need to go with the bad over the alternative, which is the worse. When you go into a war, you want to win it, but you expect to have losses. You expect to have fatalities. And I think this should just be a fatality that they should take, is of just making it disappear easier, from minion damage, or not from just taking damage itself, from just being in combat. I remember at one point it was being in combat. Currently, it is not. But just from being in combat prevents him from healing. So meaning if he uses his E or Q or whatever, he's not going to have the same health regen. Then his Q, honestly, I guess I'd leave it the same if we're trying to make minimal differences. His E, I would then take away the armor shred on that. But his W, I would change the damage reduction numbers, the armor, magic that he gains. Just change that to make him less tanky. It's ridiculous how well he can survive some of the dumbest things. And then let's do the alt, I would keep it the same, honestly. But then for the rework, I would change his alt to be something that actively or passively upon auto attacks, he would increase the size of his sword, meaning that would increase the range of his auto attacks and the range of his abilities. Actively, I would have it be something along the lines of what it is now, where he can hit someone with a sword, or it would increase his swords up another level, just automatically. Meaning that he's at level, whatever the heck we make the max level is. I'm just going to go with 10 for now. That, his sword's already hitting as far as it can. Then it will go to an 11 where, it can hit someone from an even farther distance. The only problem I don't like with that is that it does require a reasonable amount of skill to, wait to pull that out and everything. All the other things really don't need skill to, use properly, as I said, with, the changes that I made on them. But that would. So, yeah, but I would take away the villain, put in, just increase in auto attack range and ability range. Same with his Q. His E range would be bigger. His W would still be the exact same, though. And then just, make his alt that where it just, a sword lands on a person doing more damage to lower HP they have. Okay, let's head over to the skins. We have Sanguine Garen, which is just stupid. Desert Trooper Garen, which is also just stupid. It looks kind of fancy, but in general, it's just pretty meh. Commando Garen is a comedic skin that I find very, very funny, and I like it. Dreadnought Garen, I think it does look pretty cool. I just don't think it fits the whole Garen perspective, but I like it anyway. Rugged Garen I find kind of just stupid, but kind of oddly cool at the same time, just because of like the theme behind it. But I would change it to more of like a rogue Garen over a rugged Garen. Steel Legion. Honestly, I find these skins for the most part pretty cool. This skin I find very cool. Rogue Admiral. Like, why couldn't you just call the other one like Rogue Garen instead of Rugged? Rogue Admiral, I find this one... I find it looks very cool. Warring Kingdoms Garen is the second to newest one. And this is a very cool looking skin. I definitely like the whole aesthetic, the animation, everything with this skin is very nice. I kind of wish that they changed up the arms a little bit, but not like up here. This is very cool, like right here. Just I wish there was a bit more to it. Because like up here, there's epic armor, then you get this. And then the newest one, the God King Garen, which is expensive as can be. But just, I will admit, it looks incredible. The animations to it are incredible. Everything about this skin is incredible. But nonetheless, it is very expensive. And honestly, I think this might be the first champion that I legitimately have nothing and don't even have, like, the slightest idea for. Like, usually I'll say, like, oh, I don't really have anything, and then I'm like, well, we could go with this, but, like, I legitimately don't have another skin for him. He has God King, he has funny skins, he has a lot of different skins. So because of that, that is the Garen A to Z mini work, my thoughts. So as I said, do a little recap. We should change him to not be as tanky. He can still do the same amount of damage, but he needs to die faster if he's going to do it. He can't have the same amount of armor, magic resist, damage reduction that he has now, mixed with as much damage as he does. It's kind of insane. And I do think that he should get that full-on rework because it would make him slightly more difficult to play. He'd have a higher skill ceiling. But he'd still be a viable pick. So, yeah. So, thank you all very much for watching today's A to Z. I'm going to bid you all adieu. Goodbye.